Thank you. Sir, good evening and welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak, but what I want to say is going to be very extremely serious, and I need the attention of everybody here because I grew up here in Rhode Island. My family dates back all the way to the Revolutionary War. I had family who fought with George Washington in the Revolution, and I know American history very well, extremely well. Grew up with everybody in my house had guns, military and everything, and as a young age, I knew how to field strip a weapon and knew how to respect the weapon. But that being said, what disgustes me the most, and please do not take any this personal, but what disgustes me the most is Benjamin Franklin said that those who would give up their essential liberties to obtain any kind of security would get or deserve neither. Now we have Americans, people who dare to call themselves Americans, to say, I'm willing to give up my Second Amendment to keep us safe. Who's going to keep us safe from the government? I want you senators there, please, answer me this question. Who's going to keep, if I own an AR-15, and so does about 2,000 people that came here tonight. Who's going to, if we have to turn in our weapons, right, who's going to protect us from the government? If one day they to become rogue, could you answer that, please? If we were to turn in our weapons, who's going to protect us from our own government? That's what the number one reason, and I could debate anybody right now, okay, the number one reason the Second Amendment was established, not for duck hunting, okay? It was to protect we the people from our own government if one day they were able to become rogue. Because the Founding Fathers seen the monarchy systems will happen all over Europe and everything else, and they warned us. So these days, what's happening here now is we have some politicians who hijacked the term politician. They sit there, when you got into office, like I ran for office myself, but when you got into office, okay, you served in the military, anything, you sit there with your hand up. You're swearing an oath to the Constitution for the United States of America. And you have politicians who've done this, but dare to put garbage like this to make possession of use of a semi-automatic weapon and rapid fire up to 10 years in prison. Are you kidding me? For law-abiding citizens, you're going to tell me my 30-round magazine, my AR-15 is going to land me in jail if this damn bill passes. I'm a law-abiding citizen, okay? And I just want to make this, I want to put this state on notice, okay? The state has no jurisdiction nor authority to make such laws because the Constitution clearly says, okay? Any law that's repugnant to the Constitution is null and void. That means I don't care if this bill passes, you could pass all you want, I am not going to comply. And over my dead body from my cold dead hands does anybody get my firearms. My founding fathers, my ancestors fought for the civil liberties that you all have. The only thing that keeps us all free here, your freedom of speech, freedom of this and all that, is the people's right to keep and bear arms. You remember that, 1900s, for the whole century, hundreds of millions of people died because of gun control. Every one of those kids that died in those schools, their blood is on the hands of the gun control. Because if those teachers, those people had the right to defend themselves, they all be alive today, and everybody knows that. We know it's nothing to do with control, okay, over guns. It's control over the population. We have people since the Founding Fathers to modern days through history warning us of this communist agenda to mislead the children in schools, manipulating these poor children, exploiting them to come up here to testify. Oh, take the guns, please. And these poor kids don't know history. They don't know history. They don't know the importance of we the people to keep and bear arms. We are the power, okay? We elect you to represent us, the people. No, you talk about numbers, okay? I got it right here on video. I had made several videos. I reached more people than WPRI Channel 12 ever could dream of. And I got on numbers here. When I come to the State House last week when they had the rally for the gun control, maybe about 200 people. I come here today, right on the third floor here, double that, just on the third floor alone, than what they had. We had, there was a report about 3,000 people came here. 99% of that was gun supporters, gun right supporters. And it's not even counting the people. And the other side, they had to bust people in from other states. We didn't do that. They were all Rhode Islanders. And plain and simple, we're sick of the garbage. Plain and simple, we want to put you on notice. We elected you to abide by the law. That's the Constitution, not your corporate people, not your lobbyists and all that. The Constitution of the United States, and get it through your heads that the Second Amendment, okay, in our Rhode Island State Constitution says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. And there's nobody's jurisdictional power to override that. I don't care what manipulation, who went to Harvard Law School, whatever. The Constitution is plain as day. We don't need interpretations. Okay, the Founding Fathers made that quite clear, and I challenge anybody to read the Founding Fathers' writings. Very important how this is going on, because if we turn in our firearms today, because what's going to happen, if that bill passes, I'm telling you right out, you're going to start a revolution. Plain and simple, Rhode Island was the first state that declared its independence against Britain because they were sick and tired of the garbage. The British wanted our guns. The British wanted us to force a state religion down our throats, taxation without representation. The same stuff, the same garbage, the globalist garbage that's going on here right in the state of Rhode Island. And we're sick of it, and we're going to stand up against it. And what I'm telling you right now, you got to turn thousands of Rhode Islanders into criminals overnight. And I know I'm going to get the attention of every one of you, okay? God bless every one of you who support the Constitution. I'm behind you 100%. But for you, those who don't, and I'm telling you right now, if this bill passes, I will run for office, and I will see to the end of my days that everybody who pushed these strict draconian gun laws, that will be trial for treason. This is pure treason. And I'm telling you right now, if the Founding Fathers came alive today, what's going on right now, there will be a revolution tomorrow. Plain and simple, and people need to understand that. You need to stop saying, oh, we got to be like Connecticut, we got to be like Massachusetts, we got to be like Australia, oh, we got to be like this one. No, we got to be like Rhode Island. We have a great law enforcement unit called the Rhode Island State Police. They are on top of things. That's why we don't have mass shootings. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen here, but they are on top of things. We've got an awesome law enforcement agency. We got awesome Rhode Islanders who respect the law, like myself, thousands of gun owners. How many gun clubs here in Rhode Island? How many gun shops here in Rhode Island? Democrats, Republicans, of all parties love the Second Amendment here in Rhode Island. That's why we've been holding gun control back for a while. And in regards to the lying polls, okay, of the Projo, all polls show, even David Cicilline's polls, that at least 70% of Rhode Islanders do not think more gun control is going to work. I could go on all day with stats, but it's not about stats here. It's about the Constitution. For anybody right now to say, I'm going to give up my civil liberties that my ancestors fought for, your ancestors fought for, oh, let's let the government protect us and hope and pray that somebody doesn't come in our school. No, I don't think so. We're not going to allow it. We the people are not going to allow it, and we're not going to stand for it. And I need to put the entire state on notice about it. And I don't care what kind of, I don't care if it's the federal government, the state authorities, whatever. Nobody at all is taking our firearms. 1776 will begin again if anybody dares to try to touch our firearms. And this is a serious matter, and you people need to understand this, okay? And I'm sick of people like Josh Miller and all that sitting there laughing because we got a Second Amendment, laughing, oh, look at those gun supporters, okay, because you never need to take us serious. We're out there, every time there's gun rallies, we quadruple the opposition, quadruple that. And it's pure sick and disgusting. I got to sit here and do this, okay? I've been here since probably like 12 o'clock today, and I'm fed up, okay? And I teach my son American history as well. And what's going to happen when he grows up to be my age? Oh, we used to have a Second Amendment, but the cowards called Americans gave that right up, okay? And our founding fathers warned us against this, okay? So I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, I'm an independent, okay? I support you. No, I don't care what party you are. You support the Constitution, I'm behind you 100%. But this needs to be understood, and it's not about political parties, okay? The NRA, that's the limit of the argument. Let's blame the NRA. They teach nothing but gun safety. And it's not even, there's millions, hundreds of millions of Americans that do own firearms that are not part of the NRA. You know, we are not criminals, okay? All these gun control laws do is say, oh, let's ban the weapons because, oh, yeah, criminals are going to follow that, right? I mean, are you serious? Eric Holder, the Attorney General, a former Attorney General, he stated, we got to brainwash the American people, and you can find that comment right on your phone. Brainwash the American people to think guns are bad. They are openly declaring war on the American people. This is a globalist agenda. The United Nations meets every year. Their number one goal is disarm the American people. That's a communist manifesto agenda, the things our founding fathers will warn us about. People like JFK, all our great presidents we had warned us about this stuff. So you people really need to understand and listen to this because, frankly, we could be here all night. I'm a talk show host. I could talk for hours. I could hold this place up for days if I have to.
You're not
days.
doing that tonight, Dwight.
No. But, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody out there, any politicians, but please, you know, our Constitution is the most sacred thing. And I understand nobody, I cried too when those kids died. We all did. And I'm sure both sides here could agree with that. It's not the guns, okay? It's the people. It's when you took the Second Amendment away, that's when all hell broke loose. Nobody could defend themselves. And no, nobody wants to go shooting up the place like the Wild West. I owned a gun since I was 16 years old. And not once did I even think of turning that gun on somebody. And I don't care if it's my opposition, if somebody hates me. If I see their life in danger, I'm going to stand there and protect them and risk my life to protect them as well. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of all those people who own weapons and love the Second Amendment. We love everybody, even my opposition right here. You know, I would protect them with my life if I had to, and their children. You know what I mean? We need to come together as Americans, not Republicans and Democrats, as Americans, under the Constitution, on the side, there's the line right there, on the side of General George Washington, President George Washington, Thomas Paine and Paul Revere and all them. We need to stay on that side. Never mind this garbage here, we need to give up our civil liberties, because that's a pure coward right there. And I'm about done. I just encourage you to stand for the Constitution and the American people, because we will resist any laws, I'm telling you right now. And those of you who do vote for this bill, these bills, one way or another, make no mistake about it, we the people, that's what who has the power, we the people make sure those people will be held accountable before treason. And that needs to be understood and understand, because people thought we were a joke back in 1775. Thought we were a big joke, a little percent, 2 or 3% of people, they're nothing. We beat the world's strongest army, the most armed army, and today we have in this country well over 60, 70% of America that's ticked off and awake right now. So we are that close, and nobody wants that. We want to do this civilly, like we're doing here, all of us meeting together, talking civilly, but we need to understand the Constitution comes first, and when you start tampering the Second Amendment, like you've been doing, that's why all hell is breaking loose. And when you learn to lead, like, you have a right to bear arms, you have a right to bear arms, all of you do. Who the heck is the state to say you can't? That's not what the Constitution says. The state does what we tell you to do. Plain and simple. We elect you, we are the people, we're the bosses. You do what the majority does, and clearly, and I got it on video and everything, clearly, we are the majority here. We want to be left alone. We're law-abiding citizens, and like hell and over our dead bodies, we will ever give up our firearms.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments for this witness? Thank you. Sir, good evening and welcome.